Hello and welcome to the morecheeselesswhiskers.com podcast. My name is Dean Jackson, and today we are talking with Shawn Yergler. And Shawn is in Indiana, and he does something that helps homeowners who have concrete driveways, pathways, walkways, decks, extend the life of their concrete and make it look better and protect it from the elements. So essentially he's doing a cleaning and sealing situation with the concrete, and he's had some success with some every door direct mail, and you can see a copy of the postcard that he's using at morecheeselesswhiskers.com. Just look for the Shawn Yergler episode, and it'll be up there with the show notes. And we talked about how the awareness of this, the desire for this as something that is not really a necessity. It's not really there's not a lot of utility value in it. It's not a transformational thing, and people don't have to do it. So we talked a lot about the right audience for this and how to communicate in a way that lets the right people know that this is available. And right now on his postcard, he was using a $50 off offer, and we talked about maybe a different way to frame that would encourage people who are not ready right now to get their driveway resealed, but would like to maybe do this a little later, that we get that chance to communicate with those people too. And then we talked about how to take it online. And so we had a really great conversation. I think you're going to enjoy it. If you're doing something similar, I think you'll especially get a lot out of the conversation about desire and where we fall on that matrix. So enjoy this episode. I'll talk to you on the other side. Shawn Yergler.
Hey, Dean.
How are you?
Good. Thanks for that music. It kind of took my nerves away a little bit.
That's funny. So, where are you calling from, Shawn? Where in the world is Shawn Yergler today?
Indiana.
Indiana. Wow.
The flyover state of Indiana. Yep.
This is it's so funny because the last episode I did, the gentleman was from North Dakota, where I lived for a brief period of time. South Dakota, sorry. And I actually lived in Indiana for a very short period of time. My father was in the Air Force. And so he was stationed in South Dakota and then in Indiana for a short period. So that's like the Dean's military history tour.
So I wonder where at in Indiana. Do you remember?
I don't know because I was so young. I was literally like under 2. But
okay.
Is there more than one Air Force base in Indiana?
It'd probably be Fort Wayne, which is about 30 minutes from me.
That's funny.
But I don't know if that would, yeah. Well, that's
there
great.
We go. So, okay, we're already, we're recording now. We got the whole hour, and we can hatch whatever evil schemes we can imagine here. So why don't you tell me what's going on and give me some context and where you think we might have the big opportunity. I saw all your scorecard stuff too.
Okay, sure. Well, I guess first, I come from the carpet cleaning industry, so Joe Polish, and then listen to yeah, right. Yeah, no, that was funny. So I found you from him, and I've listened to the I Love Marketing podcast from the very beginning.
Right on.
Now. I've been in the carpet cleaning for about 16 years, and then 2.5 years ago, I was able to buy the carpet cleaning company that I work for my dad.
Right.
Now, but I've always I've loved like concrete, like things with concrete, coatings or polishing or things like that. So
Sure.
I've been interested in that. Then last year, for whatever reason, we kind of had a decrease in our income for the carpet cleaning. So I thought, well, this might be an opportunity for me to try something too. So I'm a one person, I do everything. So that's it's good, but it's bad. But the bad outweighs the good by quite a bit, really, because I feel like I'm so busy doing things that I have my marketing, I have it all in my head, but it never seems to really get much done. So anyway, so we were a little bit slow. So I went to some training classes for concrete, and they had this where you clean and seal like concrete driveways. And so I thought, well, I'm going to try this out. So I went ahead last summer and tried a few things. I tried one of those money mailer coupon books that are supposed to go to like 150,000 homes. And I would get, one or two calls, enough to pay for like that ad. So I did that for the first 3 months, but I wasn't real happy. So I thought about coming up with a postcard. I emailed that to you. I don't know if you've seen it or not.
Let's see. Where did you email it to? Dean at Dean Jackson?
No, I can forward that. If not, I emailed it. I think probably just to Lillian, maybe.
Oh, okay. Let me see what. If you forward it while we're here, if you can, to Dean Dean at DeanJackson.com. Okay, so so how many have you done? Were you doing EDDM, or were you buying a list, or what was?
Yeah, I did I had at that time I had gotten something from Joe Polish for like their every door direct mail type thing.
Okay.
I sent it, so let me know if you got it or not. Okay. And so I kind of took what was on there a little bit and kind of turned it into how it would apply to this. But there could have been some main components that really get good response that I took off that I shouldn't have. Like I don't have a landing page to take them back to, or I don't have like a free recorded message at this time. So that's some things I thought maybe I'd talk to you about too, and see if that's maybe what you would do first or what. But I sent this postcard out to 2,200 people, and I only got I only got like 8 calls off of it. So first of all, I think I should have got more than that.
Well, how many did you mail?
2,200.
2,200, and you got 8, so you got less than 0.5%.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
But out of the 8, I got 6 jobs, and so I feel like when I get in front of people, I'm able to make the sale. And then I also mailed to my carpet cleaning list the same postcard, and then I picked out my top people on there. So I think it was like 250 people that I mailed to that way. And so I kind of did some tracking, and I had on that my carpet cleaning list, I got like a 35 times return on my money. On on my magazine, I got like 2.5 time return, and then on the postcard, it was I think it was like 6.5 times return. So all of them I got returns, but I did not get near the calls that I thought I would. But then I thought with this call too, my main thing I believe that I need to get done is kind of selecting that target market and getting them, like educating them. I feel like once I get in front of them and I can educate them and show them that things aren't, the concrete's not sealed and this is why it's starting to do the pit and crack, then I get it. But I need to be able to kind of educate them, because unlike carpet cleaning, I mean, I can look in the phone book and I'm going to have 150 people, competitors. When it comes to this, I'm really not, there's not very many people doing it. There's some maybe big companies that are doing a lot of like epoxy garage floors, and they might do it as a side, like an add-on, but not very many people are doing it like as their main thing. But my ultimate goal in this is I would love to be able to franchise it. I'd love to be able to set it up into systems that, like you talk about, where you can constantly have people coming in, you're doing the job, and then you have, the referrals, and it makes a lot of sense to me that I think I can make it happen. And then I listened to one of the earlier I Love or More Cheese, Less Whiskers, and you talked to a power washer that offered free driveway cleanings. And then another one, I think you said maybe when you were in college, you and some other people did some concrete.
That was in high school. We did the driveway sealing in the summers.
Okay.
And we had, it was so funny because, we didn't have to spray things, and we would go, and that was our, our advantage. We would tell people, because our competitors were the big asphalt guys who otherwise they would come and they had their big truck with the sprayers, and they would spray on the stuff, right? Like, and they would just come around and knock on all the doors and do everybody on the street at the same time, kind of thing. And we would get ahead of that, but we would tell people, we don't use the spray on method, we use the brush on method, which really gets it into the which was really just our way of covering up that we didn't have the sprayers, But anyway, that was something that people either are into it and they value it, or they don't. And that was just getting in front of them. We would go door to door and do that. We weren't doing any direct mail on it. But all that said, let's just look at the math of this, right? So you got a 6 times response on your postcards, and you sent out 2,200 postcards. And how much did you spend on the postcards?
Yes, it was every door direct mail. It was, I got my paper here. It was 42 cents. Well, I'm not sure where I set that at. It was 42 cents a postcard is what they charged me to send it out.
Okay, so you spent you spent about $1,000. Is that what that was?
$1,200, like $76. Yeah, is what I know it came up to.
$1,200. Okay, and when you look at that, then you made how much did you make? 70.
Yeah.
How much was the total? I just want to do the real math. You got 6 times your money, so 7,200.
Okay, here we go, Dean. I'm going to give you the right ones here. So
that's what I want.
My cards mailed was $2,764 at 46 cents. So it was like $1,271. The postcard one, I got 6 jobs off of it, and $7,449.
$7,449. And what does it cost you to do it? What does it cost you? Like, you have hard costs?
My hard cost is about, with the sealer, it's probably about 20%. So I'm 80%.
So 20% hard cost and 80% labor and profit, right? Okay.
Right.
And then, so when you look at it right now, so if you take that 12, your average job is how much?
Well, and that's the thing. So when it came to carpet cleaning, my average might be around $200 or $250 on the high end.
Yeah.
Average. But with this, my average job, I did 20 some jobs. My average job was $1,000.
Okay. So your average job is $1,000, and your costs are 20% on that. so you might have $200 in cost. And then your cost to get those was about $200 too, right? Is that about right? If we say that you spent $1,200 and you got 6 jobs, so about $200. Right. So let me just ask you this: is that a number that you would be happy with? Like, would you, if I said I can get you all the jobs you want for $200, if we were able to set up that, we talk about setting up the before unit as a vending machine. Sure. If you could put a picture of a driveway on there and that's the job you want and it's labeled $200, would you push that button all day?
I would, yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, not to like oversimplify it, but what if you sent more postcards?
Well, and that would be an option. I live, like I said, Fort Wayne. I mean, there's and now that's the thing I want to talk to you about too, Dean. So what I did this here summer, I sent it out about 3 weeks ago. I sent the exact same postcard it would have been the same. What I did with Everydoor Direct Mail, where we are, the nice neighborhoods are big enough that we're getting. That's like one postal code. Yeah. So if there's a housing addition, that's a nice housing addition might have 450 homes in it, and that's one. Mm-hmm. So I just went and picked out that. That's how I did it. I think it was the top 4 or 5 postal codes. Yeah. And I know I'm getting them to the right houses because they're all one postal code. Now I did the same thing, and I have about 3. I've had 3 or 4 leads, and that's it. And I have not closed one of the 4. So now that's where I'm kind of like, well, shoot, something's not right. I got, this many calls the last time, and then this time things have been a little bit different. Yes. And the thing is, I know there are certain days that are better to send mail out too, I believe. And the way we were sending it out was never getting there on the days that I wanted it to. It was always getting there on a Saturday or something like that, or right before the weekend. And so I don't know what your thoughts are on that. If that would be a big game changer.
Well, the EDDM they give you, the EDDM is not like first class where they you've got a delivery time. EDDM, they typically have a window, and they're going to deliver it on the days that suit them. It's less control of that, right? Mm-hmm. So that's going to happen, and that's the cost of the discount,
Sure,
on it.
So, and that's where I was thinking, maybe what your thoughts were on maybe doing more of a targeted, with a list, and paying more over that. But I just thought it was a good option because I know it's going to all nice homes with concrete driveways, So that.
Okay, and so your card, I got your card. Okay. So, it's pretty straightforward, right? Protect and preserve and extend the life of your concrete driveway. It's a fact. Concrete deteriorates over time. So, and I'll post this up on the site, and you get a $50 off clean and seal of your concrete coupon. So that's your kind of motivation. That's your offer: free inspection, free demonstration. So, talk to me a little bit about the actual what you do and why I would want it. So I have a concrete driveway. I have a concrete driveway too, and I've never thought about sealing it, or I don't know whether it is sealed. It was there when I bought the house. I've been in the house since 2002, so I've been there 15 years. Driveway looks fine. I get it pressure washed maybe every very, very rarely. I think I've had it done once in the time that I've been there. But it never crosses my mind that that's something that I should do or that I would consider, right? It's not ever on my radar. Right. I'm thinking that most people are in that exact same situation, right?
Yes, I would.
So,
I would definitely say that. Yep.
yeah. What does if it's not broke? Why I'm not looking for something to do, right? What's the benefit or the reason why I would do this?
Sure. Well, like in Indiana, unfortunately we're not in Florida. We
Right.
have a lot. We have winters, so you have a lot of the freeze and thaw. So what happens is the water soaks into the concrete. It doesn't come back out for a long time. So you have that freeze, that expanding. So, I go to some of these additions there. The houses are maybe a year to 5 years old, and they're already starting to replace sections of their driveway.
Okay, great. So it starts to crack, and I saw the picture of the I saw the picture there, like with the pitting and stuff. Is that? But they sealed it when they poured it. I haven't read the whole thing, but just looking at that visual, is that a
it's
sign?
Mostly people just think concrete is concrete; it lasts forever, and then they don't need to do anything about it. So, but then all of a sudden they, when they start getting these pits and stuff, and cracks, and it doesn't look good, especially where the salt trucks come up and down the additions. Their first, 5 to 10 feet, it's worse. But then they have people pulling their cars in there and sitting, and all the salt drips off of that too. So it's definitely a big problem, and I don't know what they're doing differently now, but concrete seems to be differently too, because some of these homes that are fairly new, their concrete looks worse than some of these nicer additions that the concrete's 15 years old. So So I don't really. I haven't gotten any.
So you think people are cutting corners on the concrete now, or that you're saying it's worse now than it was?
Yeah, I definitely think some do. And then I think, if they aren't curing it right or what they're doing, I'm not sure. There's definitely somewhat of a difference, at least what I'm seeing in the newer editions compared to some of the, and I don't know if it's just the contractors that they are using, or because you can have one house right beside another house that they're about the same age, and one of them still looks pretty good and one of them looks horrible, and like ice melts and stuff like that do damage too. So there's definitely things that people can be doing to add to that, but I would just say that there's some bad mixtures of concrete getting poured too. So
so if that picture, like, I think anytime that you put a picture like this, first you want to, I'm just looking at your postcard here, that you always want to have a caption with the picture to frame what I'm looking at, right? Like if I just look at the pictures that you have, the lower one with the two different pathways or walkways, before and after. To me, so what am I looking at? One looks wet and one looks bright and dry. But that
is actually what it looked like before it was cleaned, and then this one is what it looked like after. And the same with the top picture. That's their back patio, what it looked like before and after. Right. Now, as far as that one, that one on the left, it probably was wet, which makes it look darker. But
right, it is wet. Yeah. And that's what I was wondering, like, what am I seeing here? So what's the difference? And is it, and then the top one is, I see the difference that it was dirty and now it's clean. But is that the difference here, that I'm looking at it, that it's, are you pressure washing it in addition to doing something else?
Right. Yep. Always. I'm always power washing and cleaning first before I seal.
Okay. Okay. And then what's the benefit of the sealing. So if I take that walkway, for instance, and I just leave it and I don't do anything to it, what's the difference aside from it being clean here?
Sure, yeah, no.
Does it stay clean longer? Does it last longer? Does it?
Right. Well, when somebody's power washing your driveway or sidewalk, they're probably power washing anywhere between, over 2,000 psi. So concrete's like a sponge. So whenever you're doing that and you're hitting that concrete, it's opening those pores up.
Sure.
So that's going to allow things to get down. It's probably going to get maybe dirty a little bit faster. And for sure, in this area, whenever it rains, it's going to soak in more, and then it stays in there longer. So you have that, that freezing and thawing, and that's where you get your pitting and stuff like that. When you clean it, you open the pores, and then when you put this sealer in, which I guess I don't really talk. Now I'm looking at, I don't really talk much about the sealer.
Right, like that's what I'm saying is that what's missing here is the explanation. It looks like, to me, that picture, it just looks wet, and now this one looks dry. But it looks like you've maybe cleaned it. Like that's different than the top one, which still the difference looks before and after. But maybe what's missing is, 6 months later or whatever. Like, does it keep it like this now? Like, does it resist getting dirty, or do I still need to pressure wash it? Is this making it more? Do you know what I mean? I'm looking for
and that's a good point, Dean. That's a good point, because see, what I'm doing now is once I get to the house, I have to explain all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that makes sense. Maybe why I'm not getting as many calls as what I think I should be.
Because maybe is saying, you're not really like giving me the why I'm doing this. Like, I think if you look at the desire scale here, right, that if you look at it, there are somebody right now who's thinking about it and wants and has been looking for somebody to come and seal their concrete.
Mm-hmm. And Dean, even more than that, I feel like what they're doing is they're looking at their driveway that is 3 years old, and it's starting to not look good. And I think that's more what they're like. They're not thinking, how can I seal this? They're thinking, why is my concrete doing this? Yeah. So they don't even know what the solution to help it is, I don't think.
Right.
Because it was sealed supposedly when they poured it.
Right.
Okay, yeah. So that's kind of where that makes sense.
Just to get that sense of what's going on there, But then, so there's some people who are ready for it, looking for it. You just have to present it to them, right? Ask them what it is. Then the next level would be people who, have some understanding, I guess, but are open to it, but not actively seeking it. And if they thought about it, if you pointed it out to them, that they may say, okay, yeah. Like what stage would you say the 6 people that you did the jobs for from the postcard, what level were they at? Were they like, yeah, come on over and seal I need you to come and seal my driveway? Or were they at, what is this? Were they calling up and saying, well, what is this? Why do I need to do this? What level were they?
What I would say from the postcard, most of them called, and they were more like, maybe have had something done in the past at a different house, or they were a little bit more familiar with that they need to get their concrete sealed.
Yeah.
So when I showed up, it was pretty easy. I mean, I didn't have to do much just what I do when I go. I normally take a piece of concrete with me that half of it's sealed, half of it's not.
Right.
And a bottle of water, I'll put it down on their concrete slab, and then I'll dump the water on their slab and onto my block so that they can see that their concrete's doing the same thing that the unsealed area is doing compared to, you know, what the sealed area does. And that's where the water just feeds up and runs off.
Okay. And now, so if we look at it, how long does concrete last? Like how long?
You know what? It's interesting. I mean, it could last, you know, a long time. But you know,
I'm thinking about my driveway has absolutely no, you know, I mean, I don't look at it carefully, and nothing is jumping out at me that wow, that's like deteriorating, or there's something going on here. And so I wonder, it's not like a roof where the signs of it happening are going to be detrimental. You're going to get a leak in your house, right? You're going to start getting, that's going to cause problems. But a driveway,
you know, the main thing is, you know, like for me, like especially somebody that built their house, let's say.
Yeah.
Or, you know, the house is a year old. They've lived there for a year. They've lived there for, you know, up to 5 years or whatever. And they know how much that driveway cost them to put in.
Right.
And it's expensive. So if they, and, you know, it's like anything, not everybody's going to care. You know, I go up to some and, you know, the kids had spray paint and they're painting something out on the driveway. You know, well, they're probably not going to care what their driveway looks like. But when I pull up to some and, you know, the yard's perfect, you know, bushes and everything's perfect, them are the people that I, you know, because they're going to want it to last a long time. So, and then I like to compare it to, you know, if you don't do something, look at this house that's down 3, what that driveway looks like, you know.
Well, and that's where I was going. If you had some pictures that show the progression, like that would be really amazing. I do
have a Facebook page. I have a Facebook page. Can I give that to you? And you could.
Sure.
I mean, it's just facebook.com and then / it's concrete sealed right.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely do a lot better job on that as far as like showing how the process is done and how the sealer works than what I did on this postcard. But the thing is, I don't have very many people following the page, and I really haven't done a very good job this summer of doing it. So,
have you done any Facebook ads?
You know what? I did. Let's see. I think I definitely have, but I'm trying to remember what I did. It probably wouldn't be how you would have done it. Otherwise, I would have got better results. But I might have done a promotion, and then just what I probably did was a promotion, and then just did like you know, like a sponsored or whatever that is, where you promote it. Would be my guess.
Yeah, I got it. Well, part of the thing, so the way I look at it, there's a new type of ad on Facebook that you can kind of use similar to, I liken it similar to EDDM. And I like it to test messages, you know, without you having to have a landing page and without having to have all these, have all this stuff. They have something called lead ads. And they basically have a system where you can run a newsfeed ad and somebody can click to leave their information. So we've been doing it with like I've been doing it with all kinds of different things, but one of the things is with a gift certificate offer that you can click to download, and it automatically pre-feeds their name and email address. So all they have to do is click a button. They don't need to go to a landing page to do anything. It'll automatically send it to you. And so I look at those as I kind of liken it to postcards in a way, where it's kind of like you use that same kind of approach where sending postcards, but you end up spending, like we did for a local microblading eyebrow studio, doing the ads with a $100 gift certificate, gift card, and offer, and got gift card downloads for about $1.50, right? And so if we look at something like this, if you're for the right people, like I'm looking at the before and after picture in your on your Facebook page.
Okay.
That for some people, saying exactly what you're saying on the card, like essentially, here's what we've got, that
Sure.
It's concrete ceiling, that for some people, that's it's already on their mind, Now,
right.
when you start looking at things like that, I would maybe start with that, because what you're getting right now are the people who are who want to get it done, and they you just need to like put it in front of them.
Sure.
And so there was a great old saying that sometimes the best way to sell a horse is with a sign that says "horse for sale," and right. So I mean, sometimes it's just as clear to say in the most articulate way, as simply and clearly as you can, concrete driveway ceiling or patio ceiling is really just letting people know, because it's on their awareness and they can see the example of their of how that works,
Sure.
And so starting with that, the way I look at it is that I'm just amazed at how low the cost of distribution is for something like that, right? And with the targeting that you can do now, so you can target, just Fort Wayne, you can target homeowners with a certain income, you can target men or women. Who's calling you, men or women?
Actually, I was really shocked with this. I thought for sure it'd be the men, but I would say 70% of the time it's women.
Of course. So you can target women only. You can target that. And what they don't care about the structural integrity of the concrete and the what it's actually doing is it's embarrassing that their driveway is so black and dirty, and that's what they're concerned. It's cosmetic more than the extending the life of it, or because let's be real, it's not probably going to get to a point where it's going to need to be replaced for a long, long time, right?
Right. Sure.
And even that, it's going to reach a point where it's just dirty and it may not be able to come back. But where it's going to be, it's going to be rare that it would get to a point where it's unserviceable as a driveway or as a patio,
that is true. But that being said, I've went to a lot of houses where that's what their option is. They're going to rip it out.
Yeah.
I mean, they just, the house, the one place I went to, the house was only 6 years old.
Yeah.
And they're going to rip the whole driveway out.
Wow. And so because it was cracked and
pitted, that picture you see on the back of that postcard, the whole driveway looked like that.
Okay.
So, if they want, that was their, thing.
Yeah.
They didn't like it enough.
So that wasn't really that, but that's visual, right? That's not the utility of it. They just don't.
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
sure. It's still functional. Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean. That some people may, because to replace their driveway would cost a lot of money, right? Mm-hmm. How much would it cost to replace one of those driveways?
Well, I think you're looking at like between $7 and $10 a foot for a driveway, but then I'm not sure what the actual, tear out is on top of that.
Okay. So what would that be roughly?
Well, and that's the other thing that I have too. Some of these, like if I go to what they seem to have done is, like if I go to the nicer editions that, let's say they're 20 years and older, they have 5,000 square feet of concrete.
Right.
3,000 square feet. I go to the newer editions and they have, 1,200 square feet to, maybe 2,000,
Yeah.
So it's definitely a lot. They've definitely shortened those up.
Yeah, right.
So you're looking at, if it's a 2,000 square feet, maybe $20,000 to replace it.
Yeah, see, that's interesting, right? And that's very few people are gonna do that.
Right, and I'm charging right now you can get somebody to come in there and power wash it pretty reasonable. I charge between 50 and 60 cents a square foot to clean and seal, but so it's a lot less than even like what somebody would do with carpet cleaning.
And how often do you have to do that clean and seal? How long does that last?
Well, and the sealer, the first 3 years you have good protection, and then the fourth and fifth you'll start seeing. And what you see is when the concrete gets wet and it gets dark, that means that the water is soaking into the concrete. So you'll get that fourth and fifth year, you'll start seeing that in areas. But what I want to do is, and I know it can be done because somebody else that from the same company, like where I get my products from, does it, but they set them up on maintenance programs. So what they'll do is the first time they'll go in and clean, they'll charge that much. But then what they'll do is come back every year, wash it down, and then put a maintenance sealer coat put on. So you're not using near as much because it's not penetrating into the concrete like it did the first time. Yeah, right. So they might charge, half that price then, or a little bit more than half. So that would be my, goal too, would be to get these people to, get on a maintenance program. Because I think ultimately, if people can franchise somebody going out and spraying their yard for weeds, I think you could probably do the same thing with this. It's just maybe a little bit, there's not as much of it going on, so it'd be a little bit harder maybe. Right. But I think if I had my system set up and I could show them this is how it works, because I definitely feel like the return on investment, you don't have much to get into it, but then also your jobs. If I went to somebody that's even on a carpet cleaner and said, hey, would you like to add this much to your bottom line, or have one other person out doing this, and I think that it would be a pretty easy sell then, Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so it's just a matter of whether you can get the, enough volume, whether you can crack a code that's going to keep you, as busy as you want to be with these, Sure. Yep. Exactly. But I would definitely try that. I would definitely try those a lead ad for this. Because I think if you've got something that works with EDDM, that there's a good chance that you'll be able to make that work with Facebook ads, because it's so much less expensive even than the EDDM. When you look at the CPM, the cost to get your message to 1,000 people,
you know?
Uh-huh.
And
Sure.
so I look at it like postcards. So I run a lot. I'm running some right now. Let me just look at what's going on here with our. So I run Facebook ads for my email mastery program, and so I'm getting opt-ins for about $2.49, and when I look at the the CPM, it's costing me about $35 to $40 per thousand impressions, of getting in front of people.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that essentially you're delivering a digital kind of postcard, if you want to call it that. That's the way I'm thinking about it now, as that you're delivering a digital postcard for about 3 to 4 cents.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And, so now you're just saying like something real simple.
And I'm still getting over 1% response from the lead ads, so it'd be the same, like, if you look at it that, and I'm testing this same thing with the, with some franchise operations, things that we've been doing for direct mail that we're taking online to these lead ads, and they are they're performing at the same rate, but the cost per response is lower.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, what you didn't get was with your postcard, you got 6 calls, you said, right? Or 8 calls and 6 jobs?
Right.
8 calls, 6 jobs. And what you didn't do was identify the people who maybe want this, that there was no sort of secondary thing. The only reason people were calling was to actually have you come and do it. And so where the opportunity maybe is, and I've found a dramatic difference between $50 off and a $50 gift card.
Okay.
And so we talk about this with any local, but anything that somebody can say, oh, I might want to do that later. See, what you're getting calls from the people who say, I want to do that now. So I'm going to call, find out how much it is, and I get $50 off. Yeah, right. Come on out and do it. And what a gift card allows you to do is that allows you, especially when all they have to do is make one click to do it, that's going to get you people who also think, I may want to do that. Let me save this gift card.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. That's so even if on your postcard, instead of $50 off, you had you were to say to people, offer them a $50 gift card and text your email address to this phone number and get your gift card. And that way you can engage in a dialogue with them too,
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So that's kind of I think that's what I'm missing, was like getting them to, raise their hands like you talk without actually having to call me and ask me a bunch of questions or so.
Right.
Like they might be more likely to do something like that than to, just call me and think I'm going to come out and try to sell them something.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Yeah. And that's really the thing. Even if you, so you're speaking to the people who are definitely thinking that they need it in your current postcard. Mm-hmm. And so I think the 2 things to test would be to certainly test a gift card offer on on Facebook and do it with just that simple before and after with the horse for sale type of ad. People want it. Some people know that they want it. Did you find that the people that called, they knew what it was about and they go, yeah, we need you to come out and do it? Or were they questioning?
Yeah, most of them, they had some sort of a little bit of that pitting going on. And so I think that kind of resonated with them that, hey, that's why this is happening. So, I mean, I think between the two of them knowing it needed to be sealed and then seeing that they were having some problems that maybe was why it wasn't sealed.
Right.
That was it. Another thing that I did once, but I haven't done, it's dumb that I didn't, but if I go out there and I don't get the sale, then I say, well, can I just do like a little test area here so you can see how the sealer works? So then what happens is, I have it on my page one of the times, but, I just do this and, just clean a little spot and put that sealer on there. And then it might not be a real big difference whenever it's done, but then the next time it rains, it looks like night and day difference. So then, you're supposed to, and they tell them what happens whenever the water gets into the concrete like that. It does start to deteriorate from the inside, so then they're looking at that and they see the difference and they're like, oh no, it's going to fall apart tomorrow type thing. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So, but, and, that was one where I did that and, she ended up calling a couple of weeks later and had me do the job. But most of them have been like, I go out there, I, do a little demo and then, they say, just come do it.
Yeah. And then, so that part of it, testing the straightforward lead ads with a $50 gift card so that people can download that. And then you engage with them in an email dialogue because some of them may be ready. But you can also, with that style of ad, you could do, there are other formats that they have where you could do a video where you could show a before and after, transformation or show. Now you're starting to soften down to the educating people. Like the thing about the Facebook ads is that it's constantly shifting, right? I mean, you're exposing your ad to the same pool of people, right? All you've got is when you build an audience of a Fort Wayne with homeowners, women, certain age and income, let's say, that would give you kind of your target audience of who you're looking for. And so getting it out in front of those people is going to be I'd be shocked if it doesn't improve the cost of acquisition for you, simply because you're coming from something that works right now, right? You're getting 0.5% on direct mail to them. That I would think that you could get that same level of response, but it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you less, right?
Sure. Yep, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so I think doing it that way would make a difference. And I'd recommend that you listen to our the More Cheese, Less Whiskers episode with Nick Kusmich. We talked all about Facebook ads on that one, and he's the guy. He's the top Facebook ROI guy. So that. Okay. There's a lot of good lessons in that there. Then I think that next level down of, we're getting the people who are ready right now. You're getting the people who are ready and understand it and know that they maybe want to do it. So they'll download the gift card to be able to do it a little bit later. Now we move down one more level to the group of people who they're just not sure. What do you mean? What would I do this for my driveway? And when you educate them and show them the differences, when you show them, before and afters, when you do sort of those videos where you can demonstrate it or do a carousel ad. Do you know what that is when I say that? Have you seen those on Facebook where you can have a series of 4, 5, 6 pictures where people could scroll through and you could educate about the process there,
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. I think I've seen them, but not. I've seen it once. How do they do that? But then that was
it's a carousel ad in. It's one of the ad products they have. So I think that would be the 3 levels that I would look at for it.
Now, is that mobile? Like, can they see that on mobile then too? The carousel ad.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
And that's the great thing about the using the lead ads without having to go into building landing pages and doing all that stuff. Initially especially for the initial things, you can get that deployed quickly. Like literally, you could do that. You could do that this morning.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be the kind of thing that could be easy for you.
Yeah, and I like, I don't know, I like being able to be the one that's in charge of it, I guess, where like when I'm doing this every door.
Right, you can test it for $20, and for $20 you're gonna, get in front of, you may get 500 impressions or more, and that way you'll see that if you're looking at it, that how much you'll establish a line of how much it costs you to get a download,
Sure. Yep. That makes sense.
So very cool.
Yeah. Now, I do have one other thing too, I guess.
Sure.
I mean, it goes along with this, and it would be more of a targeted market and probably easier to go with. I kind of like the whole being able to franchise. I love the eMist too, So I mean,
right, exactly, yeah.
That's kind of what I was going for. But with the same company, we talk about this concrete that it is bad. They actually have coatings for the outside that will actually transform it to almost make it. I mean, it's better than it was before it was concrete. So, I mean, I can definitely implement that. But what I was thinking about doing on something like that would be, and I've done a little research on it, but in our area, there's a lot of people with swimming pools.
Yeah.
And a lot of these additions that are 20 years old, the pool deck and everything's 20 years old, it just doesn't look very good anymore.
Right.
So I thought about putting something together for that. Because it's basically, have you seen the, like somebody's garage that has epoxy looking floor on it? Okay.
Yes.
You can do the exact same thing, but I mean, it's a full broadcast. I mean, the whole thing looks like that. It's not like just thrown in like flakes, but the whole thing looks like that. And so it can completely, withstand outdoor temperatures. It offers like crack proof. I mean, it's not going to start cracking. I mean, it's a pretty amazing product. So, I mean, I could totally do that too. I mean, I have all the equipment to do it. I have everything. It's just a lot more work than what cleaning and sealing is. So, but it's definitely something. I mean, I can't remember how many. There's a couple thousand pools, and the Fort Wayne area that in homes that would be, I think I told him maybe over 300,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is in Fort Wayne is a pretty high scale. It might be a little bit different in other parts. But so that would be an option too. Where I could really focus on one target market and really know who I'm trying to hit and really hit their need of, this doesn't look very good back here, but man, we can make it look really nice.
Right.
And so, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, that's a whole different. I mean, that's totally a cosmetics thing, right? That's like that would be a different. Excuse me, a different appeal.
Mm-hmm.
But the same things all apply, right? I mean, the 8 profit activators apply to every one of these situations, right? So we start with what's the transformative difference you're going to be able to make, which is you're showing them where you're going to get this beautiful looking deck, compared to, or patio compared to what it is now. Then looking at, selecting your target market. If you're saying, those are known, it's a known quantity, right? All the pool owners, in Fort Wayne. And then it's a matter of, is this something, again, that people are aware of and want it. It's like on those scales of awareness and desire. Some people, if you show them that and it's available right there, they're going to, wow, that's
right.
I want that. I've been reading about that, right? So I think it's the same kind of mechanics here, once we figure it out. And I think that you're going to learn from the Facebook, doing the Facebook ads here for the ceiling, that what's possible, and you're going to be able to apply that same learning to the to whatever you call this, the cosmetic side of it.
Sure. Yep, that makes sense. And that's kind of why I went with the cleaning seal, because I thought, once it's kind of done with this, which would be kind of an easier thing anyways, as far as that I could apply it to anything. And honestly, I mean, same with the carpet cleaning. I mean, we've just been in business long enough that we have enough customers that I don't have to do a whole lot of this stuff, and I know I should.
Right.
But deep down, it's like, if I do, I'm going to have to hire somebody. I'm going to have to not be able to do it anymore. Nobody can do it as good as I do it,
Oh, boy.
and that is my biggest. Yeah, and that's kind of where I feel like if I can get this going to where I have to get off the truck, and then I have to hire somebody else. And
I would look, before you even look at hiring somebody else, I would look at, using something like Ari Meisel's getleverage.com, where they could handle all the Facebook stuff for you. Where you could literally have the before unit. Once you get that all dialed in, somebody could do that whole thing for you. And you could just go out and do the jobs. Okay. That's where I would go. And they only charge you for, you don't have to hire somebody, right? You're only paying per second billing for when they're actually working on your thing. It's the most efficient way to outsource stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Well, I got to tell you, my wife, every time I turn on the I Love Marketing podcast or something, you got that, the song that comes on before that.
Right. Yeah.
Your introduction. She just kind of looks at me and rolls her eyes at me, and then a couple of days ago when I got the email, she was standing there and I was like, hey, Dean Jackson wants to do a podcast with me. And just the look on her face was like, she could, she's like, how do you know it's real?
That's funny. I love it.
Yeah. So,
well, here we go.
good.
So, I'll post up the sample of the postcard along with our episode here at morecheeselesswhiskers.com. And then, let's, test that out as the lead ad and let me know how that works out.
I definitely will. I for sure will.
Okay.
This is hopefully a springboard to a trip to your marketing meetup classes. So
to Orlando, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, all right. Hey, thanks, Dean. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Shawn. And there we have it, another great episode. And I'll report back to you about how the Facebook lead ad experiment worked. It's something I'm really excited about. It's a pretty easy, effortless, really, way for you to start experimenting with Facebook, especially if you have an offer that's working with EDDM or direct mail, and you have a general target audience that you can attract. They're really very affordable. And I love that you can test appeals and make it really easy for people to respond. So I think we're going to hear a lot more people who are trying those out. But as always, if you'd like to continue the conversation, you can go to morecheeselesswhiskers.com. You can see the postcard that we were talking about on today's episode. You can also download a copy of the More Cheese, Less Whiskers book. And if you'd like to be a guest on the show, you can click the Be a Guest link, and maybe we can hatch some evil schemes for you. I look forward to next episode, and I will talk to you next time.